Yo, still bills, what's the deal, man? Nigga just got the clock out early, man. I'm heading to go, you know, get the familiar some grubbage, man. But peep game, man, we got to rap about this, man. So allegedly we got allegedly Spence and Crawford is done. The deal is done. I'm hoping it's a done deal. They're just trying to lock in a date and a venue. Dope. And I'm hearing that they're aiming for September. They're aiming for September, and it's a lot of people who are getting mad because Golovkin and Canelo, it's for one, that fight has already been announced. And for two, since Floyd is retired, that is officially Canelo's fight day. If we don't get a fight any other day in the fucking year, we're getting a fight on Mexican Independence Day. That's just what it is. So how are y'all getting mad at him for the, like, what type of time, like, how much sense does that make? And the biggest takeaway from it is this, man. Just, was it last year or the year before? December 2020, you niggas was really up there yapping about how, oh man, Spence is the new face of boxing, and he did a better live gate than Canelo Alvarez, despite the fact that Spence had months to promote and prep for that fight, and Canelo only had, what, a month to prep and promote that fight. So he's the face of boxing. So why does it matter that y'all are fighting for a date? Why is it that y'all are mad that he's not moving his fight date to another date so y'all can get that fight on that date? This is what I mean by the level of idiocy these niggas spew over these fucking platforms trying to push a narrative. There's no sense of truth in a lot of these niggas, man. They, you know, people thrive off of propaganda. They thrive off of that, man. They love it, man. And I will never tell you not to be for your people, because I am for my people. But you have to move with a certain level of honesty in the mix of you doing that. And it's really dishonest for you to sit up here and try to convey a message that Spence is a bigger draw than Canelo Alvarez. I've had people try to move the goalposts. Oh, his drawing up here in America, America. Spence and Crawford isn't a fight that is going to, you know, transcend globally. It's just not. Do I think it's a bigger fight than Canelo and Golovkin as a bigger fight, as just it's a bigger aesthetic to this fight? Absolutely. All the marbles are on the line for Spence and Crawford. Supremacy is on the line for Spence and Crawford. Golovkin is fighting in a division that he's never fought in before. There's no, well, Canelo's undisputed crown will be on the line, but there's no other incentive outside of that. There's no other incentive outside of that. It's just, all right, cool. It's a rivalry. Golovkin, you know, has an opportunity to vindicate the loss. People feel he was robbed. And hey, you know, it's a lot of things, it's a lot of variables in that fight, but y'all are playing yourself if you think that it's a, you know, like, y'all are playing yourself if you think Spence and Crawford is going to be bigger than that, even though it's more meaning behind the Spence and Crawford fight. There was more meaning behind Spence and Crawford than it was with Canelo and Caleb Plant. Why? Because everybody knew what time it was with Caleb Plant. We all knew that nigga was swimming in a croc pool. We knew that, just like we knew what time it was. So going into this fight, yeah, Spence and Bud, it's more aesthetic to it. It's for all the marbles. It's undisputed, yeah, but it's only big in America. It's only big in America, and not to mention Spence's biggest fight was against Mikey Garcia as far as numbers are concerned. He hasn't done drag out numbers like that. He's never done drag out numbers like that. 300,000 would be considered a flop for the likes of a Canelo Alvarez. He did 3+ with Mikey. I think he did 3+ with Sean Porter, and since then his numbers have been depleting. Which wouldn't be an issue if people could just be honest about the situation. That's just what it is. There's no way. Like, look at Canelo's numbers. It depleted from Caleb Plant to Bivol. He still outsold Spence by 300,000. Like, y'all, we just gotta be honest, man. If we can be honest, then that, all right, cool. Now we working with something, man. But when you get to, people want to push these narratives and propagate shit, and it's just like, it's the most asinine thing that you can come up with. There's no way you can sit here and definitively tell me Spence is a bigger fight. Spence is the face of boxing. Well, Canelo Alvarez is selling out 70,000. And Spence, he didn't even do 40 in his last fight in his own hood. When you bring shit like this to the light, you get deemed a hater. And it's like, yo, man, I guess truth is the new hate. Truth is the new hate. And to add fuel to the fire, y'all trying to convince niggas that Spence is the bigger draw when they're mad that Canelo is locked in a date for September when y'all are trying to fight for September. If y'all was them niggas, y'all presence alone, the threat of y'all fighting in September would automatically move Canelo off the square. Like, man, no, I can't compete with that. But you know that you can't compete with him, so now y'all are beefing about it, and y'all haven't even announced the fight yet. We in June. This is the first day of June, July, August, September. We are literally 3 months. We're 3 months. 3 months from Canelo and Golovkin 3. We're 3 months from that. And that was announced last month, at the end of last month. It was made official. We haven't gotten a fight date on Crawford and Spence yet. All we know is rumors going around that the contracts are signed and everything is done, negotiations are done, and yada, yada, yada. Like, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. If Spence's marquee value rivals the likes of a Canelo Alvarez, then him fighting in September should force Canelo off his square. But it doesn't, because his marquee value pales in comparison. And that's cool, because in the now, all these fighters do. Bud isn't a marquee value, a marquee name like that. Neither is Spence. Spence has more marquee value than Bud. But honestly, Spence may not be bigger than Tank right now. I don't know, man. That shit just seemed game goofy to me. That shit just seems goofy to me. Don't sit up here. Don't sit up here and clap at Canelo Alvarez and get mad at him when he's fighting on the weekend of a Mexican holiday. Don't clap at him for that. Because he won't come up off his square because Spence and Crawford want to lock it day in September. They want to do that. Don't do that. Don't get mad at him for that. You knew you wasn't getting no holiday. You wasn't getting no fight in September. No way with Spence, with Canelo fight. That's not going to happen. But if you was that nigga like y'all, like everybody is proclaiming him to be, Canelo will be moved off his square. But since he ain't, that goes to show you who's actually the top dog in the sport. It's not Spence. It's not Spence. He's not him, dog. It's not. Let's just be honest about this, my nigga. Let's be honest about this so we can move on and be like, all right, cool. We got it over with. It is what it is, man. I'm honest about it. You right. You won. God damn. Fucking hell, man. I think Spence and Crawford could be very successful if they have it in Vegas. Why? Because it's not going to draw the same type of crowd that Canelo's fight is going to draw. Canelo's bringing out all the Mexicans. for his fight on Mexican Independence Day. That's a celebration of Mexican liberation. Like, that's just what it is. So they gonna bring out all the Mexicans. Bud and Spence is gonna bring us out. And I plan on going to that fight if they have it in Vegas. Fuck it, I plan on having that fight wherever they have it at. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So that fight, there's still room for that fight to do numbers. It's too big of a fight for it not to do numbers, man. They can only fit in 20K in a venue in Vegas. You trying to tell me, oh, there's only 100, there's only 20,000 motherfuckers that's interested in boxing, and all of them are going to be compensated by Canelo and Golovkin? No. There's 300 million people in this country. It's more than enough room for y'all to go fight in September. Y'all just worried about the pay-per-views. And it is what it is, man. Fuck it. Throw it and I'll be there. Wherever it's at.